Good evening and welcome to the Hamden Football Netball League Senior Footy Show, of course. Finals time is upon us. Fresher Fruit Juice final series, of course. It has been an absolute cracking season thus far. So much to play out in this wonderful season that we have already had over this next 4 weeks. And don't forget that Warrnambool Toyota $5,000 kick. It is back for season 2023 too, so get your entries in and be part of the action. We are giving 10 people the chance to win $5,000. All thanks to Burjo Goffey and the team out at Warrnambool Toyota. It is going to be absolutely magnificent. Hilly, as I say, a good evening to you, mate. We've done something a little different on Sunday. For the first time, we called the under-16s live streamed in the under-14 grand finals. One of the best games of footy I've seen, that under-16 grand final. It was just magnificent between Croydon and Cobden. In the end, the Saints end up winning by 3 points, mate. Oh,
mate, it was an enormous day. Like a great under-14 grand final to start with the Roosters and the North Warrnambool Eagles. But then the under-16 game, I think that's nearly the best game I've seen all season. Like the standard of footy in that under-16 grade was unbelievable. The fast pace, the attack on the footy, the great sportsmanship between the two clubs, and that last minute and a half was just epic. Brilliant. Absolutely epic. Archie Taylor getting the goal to get the Bombers in front.
I said that. I told you boys for the game. I said, just have a look at number 9 today, boys. He's a superstar.
And then young Archie Tepper getting a nice little pass from Taylor Byrne to get the win for the Croydon Saints 5 seconds before the siren goes. It was just everything you wanted to see in a final. And, those guys delivered. So I think, I was just thinking about it, those two clubs would be so proud. I know Cobden would be disappointed, but geez, they'd be proud of the way that those boys put themselves in the contest.
What about the talent? You just mentioned Byrne, you mentioned Taylor, Riley Parsons I thought was magnificent. Jet Grayland was sensational. Young Baker from Cobden, the big ruckman Dean was
Hutchins from the Bombs as
well. There's so much talent running around, and honestly, it was just a really huge game of football. And young Archie Tepper, mate, he's gone absolutely viral during the week. He made baseline footy. First kid I ran into at Warrnambool College was the big Tepster, and he's just strutting around like he owns Warrnambool College at the moment, I can assure you. The big fella.
Well, I was having a look at the numbers over the last week with all the social media posts. I think we've hit nearly 130,000 views of that goal. Through baseline, sharing our Hampton League Live page on Instagram and then our Facebook and Twitter and so forth. 130,000 likes.
That is unbelievable. That is huge. And it is going to continue because this next 4 weeks in the Hamden Football Netball League, I'm really pumped. I'm excited. The weather forecast, I don't want to moz it, but it's 18, 19 degrees on Saturday at the Lura Oval. It is going to be a ripper. In reserves football, Cobden taking on the Warrnambool Blues. In under 18s, it's Warrnambool taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos. And then, of course, the big one, it is North Warrnambool Eagles taking on Terang Mortlake. And the coach of the Bloods, they got the double chance. They had to get results, had to go their way. They had to sit and wait. It's been a great season. They have had a sensational year, and their coach Benny Kennar's been kind enough to join us. Beagle, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good. Thanks, fellas. Good to be on.
Mate, firstly, congratulations. I know it's like another season starting now, mate. You're not going to be happy until you reach that pinnacle. But I don't think a lot of people had the Bloods at the start of the year, playing finals, mate. You've had a really wonderful year, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. I mean, we started the season well at the beginning of the year, probably on the back of the way we finished last year. So, it was a good start. Had a bit of a flat patch through the second half of the season, but yeah, they've sort of got back on track over the last 3 weeks and got that belief back. And yeah, we think we can take it up to any side on their day.
Hey Ben, how important was it last year to sort of set up this year? I guess in the fact that players like Vickers, Hutchins, Porter, they all got really good game time, and I reckon they've been some of your real stronger players this year, alongside a lot of the young ones coming through as well.
Yeah, well, some of those names you mentioned, they had strong seasons last year as well. And yeah, I think that second half of last year, I think we won 5 out of the last 9 games and might have pushed South Warrnambool to a couple of goals at home late in the year as well. Yeah, so that belief was growing. I think, sometimes it takes a year or two for guys to work out the way you want to play and get that confidence in how you're playing. But that sort of, flowed into the beginning of this season. And we started the season well and then had a bit of a hiccup for a few weeks. But, I think everyone's got that belief back now again.
And you must be, the playing group must have a bit of confidence in their own ability because you've knocked off South Warrnambool. They're the yardstick, mate, and you beat them fair and square that day. They had a good side in, and to be honest, you're all over them. So they know that their best, Benny, is good enough to win it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a very even competition. We know the sides that have missed out, even Camperdown, Port Fairy and Warrnambool. They beat most sides throughout the year, and yeah, it was a big game, second last game against Koroit, because we'd beaten everyone bar Koroit throughout the year, so it was good to tick that one off and believe that we can beat any side on the day.
This weekend you take on the North Warrnambool Eagles, Benny, and I guess it's one each. You guys had a big win early on in the season. They had a good win at Bushfield. The Eagles are a great side. They've got some really good players. They're youngsters, a bit like your group. Some really good youngsters that have really come on this year. Where do you sort of see their strengths, and where do you sort of got to try and negate them to get the job done and earn a second semi-final spot?
Yeah, I think they're fairly even across the back, mid and forward, really. They've got a bit of a balance there. They've got, obviously Luke Wine's back in the last part of the season. You got Birmingham in the middle, and I think their forward line's probably a bit of a different look forward line this year as well, but it's functioning very well. Also with Batten kicking quite a few goals and other guys chipping in through the midfield.
Hey, Beagle, I want to talk about a couple of your prime movers, Scotty Carlin, young Riley Hutchins, and the player that I reckon has just taken his football to a new level. He's an absolute jet, Joey Arundel, mate. He's a bit of the barometer for you guys, but you must be wrapped with the nick and the form that these guys are in.
Yeah, I think probably everyone's up and down across the season, but someone like Joe Arundel, he rarely plays an off game. Probably by Joe's standards, I'd say he would have thought he was a bit off last week in the first half for some reason, but probably not a bad game to be a little bit off. But Joe's very consistent. Gus Burke's had also a very consistent side in the back line. So those two do generate a lot of our drive, and they read the play very well, intercept mark and so on. And Hutchins and these guys have had consistent years as well, but obviously Will Kane's been reasonably consistent up forward, hasn't had the big games and kicking 10 goals, but kicking 4 to 6 goals quite often, which is pretty important.
I reckon one of your major artilleries going into this finals campaign, it's been a real, key for you guys too, is your flexibility in the ruck. At times you can throw Reece Buck in there, you can obviously throw Alex Maloney if needed. You've had Hobbs in there as well, and even Matty Arundel has had some opportunities in there as well. So I love that you guys can be really flexible in the ruck, and you've got contingencies if plan A's not working or plan B's not working.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a bit of height through the side. So, and with those taller players, they can all run pretty well. Some of them are not the biggest, strongest bodies, but they compete. They compete on the ground. They can go back. They can go forward. So, and they're also very young and improving their footy. There's a lot of improvement and upside to come still. So, quite positive, the big man department at Terang Mortlake.
Mate, we wish you all the best of luck. I must admit, I'm really looking forward to Saturday's game. I reckon it's going to be a belter. Perfect conditions. The ground, they tell me, is absolutely tip-top shape. It's big crowd expected up there. It's going to be an absolute cracking way to start this final series, I reckon.
We're looking forward to it. I think the Camperdown Oval should suit us, and by weather reports, it looks like it should be a perfect day for footy.
And not far to travel up the road either, mate. It's perfect for you guys. It doesn't happen very often, so good on you.
Yeah, I suppose it could have been Portland or Camperdown, so we probably had a win getting Camperdown.
Good on you, Benny. Great to talk to you as always, mate. Good luck on the weekend.
Thanks, boys. See ya.
That is qualifying final, of course, Lura Oval on Saturday. Hilly, we then flip and we go to the other side of the league and we head to Portland on Sunday. Hanlon Park, Portland, they tell me this ground looks absolutely sensational as well. Great to see the Portland Tigers get a final as well. And on Sunday in the under-18s, Cobden taking on Koroit. That'll be an absolute ripper. In the Resis, Terang Mortlake taking on Koroit. And then the big one in the seniors, it's the Koroit Saints, of course. They've won the last 7 flags in the Hamden Football Netball League. They've got to an elimination final, only pushed out a double chance last week. They're taking on a Cobden Bombers outfit, a young baby Bombers outfit, which is coached by this man, Dan Casey, who's done a sensational job. Case, how are you, big fella?
Good fellas, how are you?
Mate, we're going great. You've been in this situation, of course, at Illawarra Biak in the past, mate. You've done a great job at Cobden. Got some young kids coming through. 6 changes, possibly, to come into this elimination final team on Sunday, mate. What are we looking like? Are we looking like all are going to get in and make it?
Yeah, 100%. Look, it's we wanted to go in Sunday with no excuses, and I think we'll go in relatively full strength. Obviously, Charlie Darcy's been out for 12 weeks now, and Liam Luby's been out for about 8 weeks. So they're the only 2 that we'll miss. We're going to have a hard night. Last night at selection, we had a hard night. And Thursday night we'll see who get through training. But at this point in time, we'll be at probably our best side, I'd reckon, on Sunday. So,
hey, Case, let's backtrack. 18 months ago, when you took on the job at the Cobden Bombers, and I know you had a big philosophy on making sure there was a really strong culture at the footy club. It seems like there's the vibe around both football and netball strong, on-field, off-field, but did you envisage that, maybe 18 months later after starting the job that you'd be pushing for finals, obviously with the Bombers having been playing finals, I think it might be 2017, 2016?
Yeah, look, we had I suppose we all know last year we were picked not to win a game. And we went through and just missed out on playing finals. Our reserves got through and went deep into the final series. And then our under-18s, only the fact that 11 of them were playing senior footy, that they missed out on playing finals as well last year. So you add some class, get some quality Cobden people back to the club, and away we go. We had our ups and downs at the start of the year. We took a bit to gel and get used to the co-coach scenario. But look, couldn't probably. I suppose the best thing is probably we're very lucky to have all 3 sides in playing footy, and it's just a credit to not just our footy department, it's our netball, it's the committee like Sophie and Nadine, and all the senior coaches and the junior coaches in the netball have done an awesome job getting their teams all up in the finals. But footy side of things, it's pretty exciting. And look, our under-18s, they look really strong. And we're going to have Luke Smith and probably Henry Robinson play in the seniors this week on Sunday at this stage. So it's exciting times. We're very, very, very lucky to have the commitment the boys have put in over the last 2 years to get us to have a crack at playing finals. So.
Mate, you're coming up against the champs. It's kind of like the Chicago Bulls in the mid-90s. They've been littered with stars. They've got a great outfit. You're coming up against a side that knows how to win. I go back to that round 1 encounter, Case, and you got across the line. Your second half was sensational. So there's got to be a bit of belief there with your boys.
Oh, look, yeah, definitely. We've had 2 really good contests against Detroit. The first game, they were a little bit underdone, I reckon. We were charged, ready to go, and they were just coming off a premiership, so they always take a little bit longer to get going. Then you fast forward 10 weeks later, we play in probably the worst conditions we've had all year, in wet, sloppy, being at Detroit too. It was tough conditions, and we had them till about 2 minutes, and Liam Boy bloody kicks a goal with a minute to go and puts them 3 points ahead. And it was just probably disheartening that game because we thought we had them. Then you fast forward to finals, here they are. Everyone probably thought, they might slip out or finish 4th or 5th, and they're looking at finishing 2nd again. And we take our boys over to Portland to play them, and look, they're experienced finals players, so it's they're going to probably have a little bit of an edge over us. They'll probably settle a bit early before us. Our guys will be nervous and excited and all that stuff, and their experienced guys will know what it's all about. So, look, it's going to be an awesome game. And, as I said, we're going to have no excuses come Sunday. We're just going to give it 110%. And if we know we can compete with the other 4 sides in that bracket, but we've just got to get over the reigning champs first.
Hey, Case, I want to ask you about Mark Marriott, mate. And to be honest with you, at the start of the year, you would have thought, this is great, having the big guy come back, and we're going to get a lot of games out of him. Probably only played a handful of games before he got invited to Geelong Cats duties in the VFL. Then obviously, he spent a fair bit of time there, come back for a few more, and then has gone overseas. So we probably haven't seen as much as we would have liked. But geez, he's going to be crucial for you guys on the weekend, I reckon, because the Saints have got 2 young emerging ruckmen in McInerney and McCosh, who's still learning the ropes to a certain degree. So Marriott's experience and just football talent's going to be so important on a Sunday.
Yeah, look, he's we obviously it was fantastic recruiting at the start of the year and getting back to the club. And we always knew he was going away at the end of the year, but then yeah, it was a bit of a surprise for Mark and ourselves that he got a call up to play for Geelong, and we thought, it might be 1 week and we have him for the rest of the year. Aaron Black kept ringing, going, "No, we need him this week." So it was probably, in a way, it was a blessing that blood like Tully Darcy and Matt Clark and then Ben Berry come back to the team as well. And he's been like phenomenal at centre forward, but yeah, to throw him in the ruck as well. But yeah, it's been challenging the last probably month without him. But as for the club point of view, we've got some talent coming through the ranks. It's just teaching them craft as well. But yeah, Sunday will be definitely welcoming him back, because it's always good having a dominant 6'8" bloke around the ground.
It's going to be an absolute ripper. I'm really looking forward to this game as well, mate. It's the champs coming up against the young ones, the young boys coming through, which is really, really exciting. Case, we wish you all the best of luck, mate. Going to be a ripper over at Hanlon Park, Portland on Sunday, buddy.
No worries, thanks guys. Looking forward to it.
Great stuff. And Hilly, I must say, great to see the Reed Oval, everything sorted out.
Yes.
So prelim and grand final are going to be up there. That is brilliant. Well done to the Hanlon Football Netball League, and well done to Warrnambool City Council for working through that and fixing and rectifying those issues.
I think common sense prevailed there, and great that Shane and obviously Kylie from the WD&L were able to come up with a deal that was affordable for both parties, plus the City Council. Because the last thing we want to do is have, these discussions where they're negative and there's,
that's it.
The relationship may be a little bit fractured with things not going each party's way. So it's a real win-win for all.
And we looked at the quality of footy with the juniors on Saturday. Yep. It's a great ground, whether you like it or not. It's the best ground, it's the best surface, and it is great facilities. And I'm hoping that we get a 23-degree day on grand final day. The sun's shining, and we can showcase the talent that we have in the Hanlon Football Netball League, not only in the football court but also the netball court. Mate, it is going to be a sensational weekend, Hilly. I am looking forward to this weekend, the Fresher Final Series, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 weeks, to be honest. It's going to be fantastic. And as I said, don't forget that Warrnambool Toyota $5,000 kick.
Yeah, terrific weekend
get
coming
involved.
up. Terrific weekend coming up. And I can hear your excitement in the 2 games coming up. Like, I just think Terang Mortlake and North Warrnambool, and even the Sunday game, could be some of the best football we've seen all season. The talent seems to rise to the occasion. We know that there's so many great narratives to come from all 4 sides. And then you've got South Warrnambool just sitting nicely in that week off, and they'll be having a good keen eye on that Saturday game to see who their opponent's going to be, to then play in that qualifying game for the first grand final spot. So, geez, we've been so blessed with so much great footy. As you said, the weekend's game against Cobden and Croyd in the juniors was just a really good starting point for the Hampton Football Netball League. And well, I can't wait for the next 4 weeks.
Going to be sensational. We're going to take you along for the ride. Hammond League Live Saturday from 12, live streaming from 2. We will take and bring all the action from every single game in the Hammond Football Netball League right throughout this Fresher Final Series. We'll see you on the weekend.